All right, so we are learning simplest radical form, but on top of that, we have to learn about imaginary numbers. So one of the uses for imaginary numbers is to count imaginary friends. Sorry, that didn't quite fit on there. But actually, it's kind of weird that there's imaginary numbers in math, but we're going to learn the definition of what they are and then apply that to the simplest radical form concept. Okay, so for what is imaginary number, this would be a pretty important thing to get down in our notes. So they're going to use a letter for imaginary numbers in math called I. Typically, letters stand for an unknown number, like a variable. So when we have like 2x, the x stands for an unknown number. I is different. Okay, so I is sort of like pi, where it stands for a specific number. Okay, and basically the number it's going to stand for is the square root of -1. All right, so that's kind of where I put down here is that I is like pi. It's not a variable, it's a specific number, specifically the square root of -1. Okay, and where this comes from is like if I was solving this if I was solving this quadratic on the left, I could square root both sides and I get both plus or minus 5. Square root of 25 is both positive and -5. Because if we think about like number times number, that gives me 25. That can be either like 5 or -5 there. Okay, but if it's a negative number, so if I do the square root of -25, that is essentially asking number times itself. That gives me -25. Okay, and with our regular numbers, there are no numbers that do that. 5 times 5 doesn't work, and -5 times -5 also doesn't give us -25. So that's where imaginary numbers come in, because if I take this example, square root -25, um, I can pull off the -1 part. So just like we've been breaking radicals in the previous video, now if I pull off the negative part, now I'm going to get plus or minus 5i. Okay, so basically the square root of -1 becomes I, and so when we do the square root of a negative number, that's just an imaginary number. So sorry, I'll write that a little bit neater there. The square root of -25 is plus or minus 5i. Okay, and in this video, I'm not going to really worry too much about the plus minus part. The concept here is basically that when you take the square root of a negative number, you get an imaginary number, in this case 5i. Okay, one other thing you might want to note is when you do, this will come up in later lessons, when you have I squared. So if I take the square root of -1 and square it, that just becomes -1. So it actually turns back into a non-imaginary number if I square I. Right, so that is kind of significant that I squared is actually not an imaginary number. It's just a regular number of -1. All right, so hopefully you got some notes down on this, and now we're going to do some simplest radical form involving imaginary numbers. Okay, so how it works is like if I do the square root of -5, I'm going to break it into two things that multiply to -5. So +5, -1, and then that becomes the root 5. I can't really simplify that at all, but the -1 part becomes I. Okay, and they'll usually write it this way where the I is first. So square root of -1 is I, and then we still have a root 5. For something like root -49, that's going to work out a little nicer because when I split it, I can still pull off the negative part, but then square root of 49 is just 7, and then the square root of -1 is I. So you end up with just 7i. And that kind of makes sense, right? Like if the square root of 49 is 7, the square root of -49 is just 7i. Okay, so it gets a little bit trickier when it's not a perfect square. So again, on this square root of -27, I can pull it off like this, pull the negative part out because I know it's going to make I. But then we can also do simplest radical form for the 27. So that 27 splits to 9 and 3 if I use my list of perfect squares. Okay, so all told this splits into 3 things, and then it cleans up to 3 times radical 3 times I. Square root of 9 is 3, square root of -1 is I. And again, they're often going to write the radical part last, so I'm going to rearrange the order. This is just a multiplication situation, so I'm going to rearrange the order to that. All right, I got one more for you at the bottom. Give that a shot. See if you can reduce the square root of negative 75. Simplest radical form. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to split it to, I'm going to pull off the negative part for sure, but I can also split 25 into 25 times 3, where 25 is the perfect square. And now this will clean up to square root of 25 is 5, square root of negative 1 is I, and then we've got a radical 3 on the back. So this negative square root is an imaginary number cleaned up like this, the simplest radical form. All right, I got this one of my favorite math jokes. A student told me this once. How is my girlfriend like the square root of negative 100? Okay, you ready? Ready? I'm not sure you're ready. It's pretty funny. So this comes out, this is 10 imaginary, right? If we did what we did on the previous slide. So my girlfriend is a perfect 10 and imaginary. Very clever joke. All right, final thing is just to apply this. So again, we're going to be doing the quad formula later, and we're going to have imaginary numbers with the quad formula, and so we have to clean this up with simplest radical form, right? So if you're not sure how to do it, you can keep watching. Otherwise, challenge yourself, pause the video, and see if you can clean this up. Okay, so I'm going to clean up this root negative 16, and so I'm just going to pull off the negative part, because square root of 16 is a perfect square. So then this becomes negative 4 plus or minus 4I over 2. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of negative 1 is I. And then divide this by 2. So it'd be negative 2 plus or minus 2I. Alright, so this 2 divides it out evenly, so it comes out nice and pretty. This whole thing reduces down to that statement. Alright, one final example for you. Same type of question. This is a quad formula, what it'll look like, and then we just got to do simplest radical form. Okay, so square root of 40 is not perfect. So I'm going to actually have 3 parts. I'm going to put the negative 1 on the end, and then 40, 4 divides that. So 4 is a perfect square. So I'm going to split to 4 times 10 with the negative 1 part. Okay, and then square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 10, there's no more perfect squares underneath here that divide 10, so I know I'm done. And then I have an I for the negative 1. Okay, and then this one, the 4 doesn't evenly divide 2, right, because it would actually be 1/2 or whatever. But these actually can all be reduced by 2. So it sort of becomes like 3 plus or minus square root of 10. This would be a 1 right here. Square root of 10I all over 2. So you can reduce all of those by dividing by 2, and then this is considered the most cleaned up answer. Again, sometimes I'll put the I first. I probably should have done that, but anyways, that's simplest radical form for this statement. All right, that's your review of imaginary numbers in simplest radical form. Remember, imaginary number is just the square root of a negative number, and specifically I stands for the square root of negative 1. That is all. Thank you for watching.